The first step is to transfer your design onto your paper using graphite transfer paper and your template. Just trace over the lines with a pen or a pencil with your graphite transfer paper down first and your template on top. Then we'll fill in the bottom part, the paper cup area, with yellow. I'm using a small square flat brush for that. You'll just want a little bit of water mixed in with your yellow paint. The next step is to use a small round brush and your yellow paint again and create a teardrop shape. That's going to be your flame for your candle. While the paint is still wet, you'll take some orange and make a few little lines at the bottom of the flame. The next step is to fill in the icing. You're going to add just a layer of water, and then we're going to put some purple and then some red and pink in there and then some blue. You are more than welcome to change up any of the colors that you would like to. Now we're just going to take some purple and go around some of the curved edges. Kind of go along each of the lines of the icing. And then we're going to use some pink and go in some of the other white spaces that we haven't gone in yet. Don't fill in the whole thing though. Kind of blend in the purple and pink together a little bit too. Now we're going to take some blue and do that in a few little spots as well, continuing to kind of blend it all a little bit together. We're using colors that will mix together well and not create muddy colors. Now that it's a little more dry, we can go back in with some of our darker purple and do some shading along the lines underneath each of the little mounds. For this next step, we're going to use our small square flat brush and a little bit of a darker yellow, and we're going to take these lines straight up and down using the thin side of the brush. Try to connect each of the downward V shapes to a slight diagonal towards the center. Now we're going to add a little bit more water to the same color, and we're just going to shade half of the shape in between each line with that. Now we're going to do the candle. I've got my blue, and I'm just going to use my small brush to make lines going diagonal like a lighthouse. Once that's a little dry, I'll go back into the white spaces and add some pink. Now we're going to fill in the cupcake cake part. And I'm going to use a yellowish, lighter brown color. Fill in the whole little section. Then I'm going to take a little darker brown and kind of go around the edges and make it look a little more rounded. I'm also going to make it kind of blend a little bit more into the color underneath so that it's not stark lines. Now I'm going to get a little darker or use the same color with less water to go around the edges a little bit to make it more contrasting. This creates shadows so that it looks like your icing is sitting on top of your cupcake and the cup is coming out a little bit. I'm also going to do some stippling or little dots on there to make it look a little more textured. Now I'm going to create the table that it's sitting on. I'm just going to use my little flat brush and take some purple around the edges with a horizontal line on either side, and I'm going to blend that out to make it lighter as I go out. You can either use a pen or a marker or just a really thin brush with black paint. We're just going to create the wick going up through the flame. And I'm going to outline all of my lines. I like to do that since I've got my pencil showing, and it'll make it a little more caricaturistic, if that's not a word. It'll make it look more like a little character. Now we're going to draw the little face, and if you want to use a template you can, or you can do freehand. Just know that the closer to the eyes that the mouth is, the general cuteness factor goes up. You can also skip this step if you don't want it to have a face.